Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at a Gourmia GMF600 thermoelectric mini fridge. Alright everybody, welcome back. So today I have something really cool for you. Now you may be thinking, why a fridge on a prepper channel? Well, first and foremost is medication. You or a loved one might depend on some kind of medication that requires being kept cold. Things like insulin come to mind. Breast milk for mothers who are breastfeeding and want to store some. Any kind of thing like that, any kind of medication that requires a cold temperature, something like this could be a lifesaver in a power outage, whatever, disaster, flood, fire, whatever. If you get out with this, you put this in your vehicle, you can definitely keep stuff cold. Now the cool part about this is it does run on AC and DC, and we are actually going to test this. My family has a wedding coming up this weekend, and we're going to be headed to Vegas for 2 days, and I'm going to bring this along. We're going to take it in the car. We're going to see what it feels like when we get to where our destination is, and then we're going to put it up in the room and test it out there and see how it holds up for basically running for two to 3 days straight. We'll test it out and see how it works for that, for that kind of situation. So this is awesome for camping, for a bug-out location, where you don't have a lot of power. Really be handy for a situation where you don't have a huge solar backup or a big generator to run a fridge. Something like this definitely comes in handy. You got a little cooler, basically. It also heats. We're going to test that function out before we get going, but that comes later on in the video. So we'll get into that a little bit down the road. What I'm going to be using this for, essentially, is for power outages. If I have to keep something cool during a power outage. Thankfully, I don't depend on any medication that needs to be refrigerated. Knock on wood for now. But it's definitely a handy little thing for that kind of a scenario. Now, for me, it's just going to maybe keep some drinks cool. No big deal. So this holds 6 cans. Let me flip it over here so you can take a look. It'll hold 6 soda, beer, whatever, cans. Not essential to survival, by the way. It's not for me. You can take the rack in this out, and it will give you a little more room. See, that comes out like that. So if you want to store taller things like water bottles. Let's take a look. I've had this plugged in for about an hour now. And let's take a look at the temperature. Now, the temperature is going to surprise you because this really isn't a refrigerator. And we'll get into that in a second when I get into the stats of this. I'm going to take this little temperature gun, point it towards the back, and I got 40 degrees. There we go. Now I got 39. So you may be thinking, hey, what the heck? That's not keeping things freezing, or cold. Well, that's the point of this. This is a thermoelectric deal going on here. This is not a compressor-run refrigerator. That's something important to remember. This will chill things 32 degrees below your ambient temperature. So right now in here it is 68 degrees. So it's actually doing a little better than advertised. So if it's 80 degrees outside, you're probably only going to cool it down to, say, 48, So it will keep stuff cool, but it's not a refrigerator. But it will keep medications and the like cool. Again, I show you backup power units for people that might need medical devices. Well, if you need medication to be refrigerated and you're on a camping trip or you're bugging out or there's an emergency or power outage, something like that really comes in handy. Now, I do have a pretty big backup solar system. I also have a generator. I also have one of those little dorm fridges over on the other side of the room here. I just keep cold water in it for now. But it's a handy little thing to have, but you may not have that. If you live in an apartment, you certainly can't do a big solar backup, and you certainly can't do anything like, a generator outside your window. So something like this becomes a whole lot more important. So we're going to give you the specs on it. We're going to test out the cool and the heating. We already showed you the coolness of it. It's doing pretty well. It's only been in there actually about 45 minutes cooling. I just took it out of the box and started testing it. So I'll set that up and we'll bring you back. Alright, so you got a nice latch on the door here. This is actually like a real refrigerator latch. It actually locks on there. Decent carry handle. We'll find out how convenient this is to carry when we take it on our trip. Now here's something interesting. The fan runs, it's very quiet. It's been running this whole video. I don't know if you can hear it. That's my heat pump in the background. Let me see if I can bring it up closer to the camera. Yeah. Anyway, it's really not intrusive at all. Like I said, if you're a mother who is possibly using breast milk to feed your child and you want to keep some stored, keeping this in a baby room would not keep the baby awake. It is very, very quiet. You have a little switch over here that's for cool. You have a stop in the middle and then a hot or warm, so it will warm food as well, and we will test that. You have your 12 volt. You have your 12 volt plug here and your AC plug there. I have it plugged into that strip for now. You get a nice little instruction manual. It is actually useful. You do have a warranty card who you can call up and find out. And the bag didn't come with this. I'm just getting it ready for the trip. But this is your cigarette lighter plug. I'm going to show you something really cool here in a sec that I kind of had to do because I don't really have anything that plugs into that except my vehicle. So this will plug in here and it will run off this. So we're going to try that out in the vehicle, but I also wanted to show you that this will work in a situation where you have a solar generator. You guys may remember this guy here, the Sun Life solar generator. One of the more affordable 500 watt solar generators. I do have it on a panel that sits in my other room. I just have the panel in the window. It's a 35 watt panel. It keeps it topped off. If I was getting serious about using this, that panel would be outside, but for now it just leans kind of sideways in my window with the blinds in front of it, and it actually keeps it topped off. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this out using the plug here. However, you'll notice this doesn't have a cigarette lighter plug. So I will put a link down below for these as well. These are super cheap. They were 2 for $6. And these are adapters. So I can take this, put this in here, and plug my 5.5 millimeter plug in there. So let me turn this off. Unhook that. Hook this in. And if I'm a little disjointed today, it's because I'm getting ready for this trip and I'm like confused thinking about what I got to pack. So I turn on the bottom there and I plug it into one of these 5.5 millimeter plugs and turn it on to cool. And there you go. It's running again. So it will run on something like that very, very easily. If you're replenishing this with a solar panel, this can run almost indefinitely. It really doesn't draw much current. Anyway, that's the story on that. This is about 9 inches by 7 inches by 10.1 inches tall. So it's a decent sized unit, but it's not heavy at all. Weighs about 3.1 pounds. And a nice white finish. It does come in a bunch of different colors. I'm just going to give you the link to the site. You can choose what color you want. I'll put the link down in Amazon. And I'll put the link for these little adapters. I think I have another one over here to show you. So if you do have a solar generator that doesn't have a cigarette lighter plug, some of them do, some of them don't. Usually the 5.5 millimeter plug is standard and will work. And I also will put a link to this if you guys are interested. I know sometimes if I don't put a link to a product, everybody's like, where can I get that? So I'll just put all the links down below. Anyway, all in all, I kind of like it so far. I'm liking the fact that it is cold in there. And you have a nice little seal around the door. You know, you got that little seal around there. So, let's try something different. I'm going to plug this back into the wall and we're going to try heating something up with it. Now it does say to turn it off for 5 minutes before you put it on heat. So we're going to do that first and then we're going to put it on heat and see if it can heat up. I'll show you what I'm working with here. This little bag of chicken. Now again, it only gets to 150 in there. We're not talking about heating this up to, you know, scorching hot temperatures. But if you do have something you want to keep warm, this is ideal for it. So let's just try that out. And then I got to pack up the car. We'll back out with this and I'll show you how it works in the car. All right, so it's been running for about 15 minutes now. I'm going to take the heat gun, see what we're doing. It feels warm back here, but not really warm outside. I guess that's a good thing. Let's see what the results are inside. Got 149. Can you see that? 149. Try it again. 148. Let's see the food. Food's at 85 degrees. 92, certain areas 93. That's not bad. You know, if I have to eat this and I want it just warm. Now, if this has already been cooked and heated up, and only in 10-15 minutes, That's not bad. If this has already been cooked and heated up and I want to warm it or keep it warm all day till my lunch or something like that, awesome idea. Let's see if it got all the way through there. Pointed in the middle there. 99, and that's dead center in the pack there. Let me grab a spoon here. Let's see if it's, you know, when you eat something you expect to be warm and it's cold. Let's see. No, it's warm in the center. Let me finish chewing. So, definitely pretty cool. Getting a 175 now, actually, but that's at the top where the actual plate is. You can see that. So, does what it says. It heats up. My primary use of this is going to be cold. So, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to pack up the car. I'm shooting this video kind of quickly because we're getting ready to leave. I'm going to pack up the car and show you what it looks like inside the car, running on 12 volts, and then we'll run through the next few days in the hotel room and see if it lasts. All right, so we're all packed up. We're going to Vegas. We got it in the back of the vehicle here. I have it plugged into the cigarette lighter plug. We're just going to keep some rice pudding from my wife cold in it, and we will let you know when we arrive to where we're going how well it held up, and we'll plug it into the room and test it there. It's just plugged up into our cigarette lighter adapter up that way. So that's it. We'll see you when we get to Vegas. So we're up in the hotel room. It stayed nice and cold for the trip. I put the cigarette lighter plug cable in there, and now it's plugged into the wall. So this thing's going to be pretty handy. I mean, this isn't exactly an emergency situation, but seems to work pretty well. Now I could put these two things over here. Give me a second here. I'll walk over here and grab our coffee creamers. Yeah, we tend to go with a little bit too much stuff when we pack. Stick the coffee creamers in there, and there we go. So I will get it back home and get it on a table after this wedding is over, and we'll finish up from there. All right, so we're day 2 here. Just got up this morning, made some coffee with a little Stanley coffee press. We went downstairs and got breakfast, and we saved the cream and everything in here. And my wife had a little rice pudding, so that's still in there, and it's still nice and cold. I forgot my heat gun. Of all the things I was going to bring, the temperature gun, I forgot my temperature gun, but it is still cold. So, give you one last look at it before we go back home and we finish up the video. All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm kind of laughing because only I would finish unpacking the car, putting everything away in my house, and then immediately going to shoot a video. So as you saw, it worked. If you notice up in the left-hand corner of my video, there is my little, yep, this guy. I left it right there after I shot the video when we went. But you saw it kept everything cold, and you saw it work here to begin with. I wanted to bring this with me. It's the last thing I forgot, so oh well. That's where it's at the whole time. But it did work very well. It kept the cream cool for coffee for my wife. Kept the butter that we got from the restaurant downstairs. We got some breakfast to go, and I had the butter in there, and it kept it nice and cold. Kept her rice pudding cold, kept a water bottle in there for me cold, and it worked all the way home. So I literally unpacked it, put it down here just to show you. I'm really pleased with the performance of it so far. And again, it's not a refrigerator. This is a thermoelectric cooler or heater. So this will allow you to keep cold things cool or to cool things off. And as I said, it's 32 degrees below the ambient temperature. So, and to warm up to 150, we got it up to about 170 there. But I think when you keep the door closed and everything, the inside ambient temperature will be about 150. So I'm pleased with it. It's $38.99. I looked up medical refrigerators and doing research for this video. And medical refrigerators are insanely expensive. Even small models similar to this size where you would keep insulin or any kind of other medication in it. Not the ones that transport organs. Those are like $22,000. I'm talking about medicine type emergency refrigerators. So if you have a need for any kind of refrigeration during an emergency, a power outage, a fire, flood, whatever, you got to evacuate, or if you're a camper and you just want to take this thing out to camp and keep your water bottles cool. Either way, it's definitely a winner. And like I said, if you want to put taller stuff in here, you can pull this rack out. I don't know if this is going to fit. It probably won't. Yeah, an Nalgene bottle won't fit in there, but a regular water bottle definitely will. So, definitely a cool little item. I'm going to finish putting everything away because I'm exhausted. I never realized how much running around with a wedding party takes out of you, especially in Vegas. Anyway, folks, so thank you for watching. I will put a link to this down below. as well as the adapters that I got for it, the little 12-volt cigarette lighter adapters, and the it's not in here now, but the solar generator that I showed you using it on there, just in case you're interested in picking that up, because I know if I don't leave links, people always ask me. And don't forget to check out our Amazon store down below. Our Amazon store has everything you could possibly want that I've reviewed. If you don't see anything in the store you want, just click the link, shop as you normally would. It really helps out the channel. Don't forget to check out preparewithiridium.com. That's our My Patriots Pantry Storage Food Solutions. We have a special going on right now with the 2-week and the 4-week pack and a bunch of other different food packs. So definitely check them out. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life link down below if you're interested in getting some freeze-dried food to mix in with your other stuff. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.